Hello and welcome to the Utah Puck Report. I'm your host, Jay Stevens. We're still doing it, man. I'm telling you, we're the luckiest podcast in the world because we get to keep meeting our players from the Utah Hockey Club. Today, Michael Kesselring is our guest. Michael, thank you for being on the show.
No problem. Excited to be here.
Um, I just kind of want to go through and let everybody kind of get to know you. I've looked you up. I know a little bit about you. I know you're an American-born player. I got to see you play last year, actually. Can you tell us a little bit about where you grew up and when you picked hockey and how you became a National Hockey League player?
Yeah. So my dad played pro. My dad's from Kitchener, Ontario, so he was always surrounded by hockey. He's a Canadian, obviously. So I started playing when I was 3, 4, when he was in the minors in South Carolina, and that's actually where I was born. Um, and then he met my mom at Merrimack College, where he played college hockey. My mom played college basketball there. So I like to think I got the athleticism from my mom and the hockey from my dad. Um, but yeah, that's kind of how it started. I played for the New Hampshire Avalanche all growing up. Boston Junior Eagles for a year. Went to New Hampton Prep School for 4 years. Year junior, and then played 2 years at Northeastern University. And then signed with Edmonton. Was in their AHL team for a few years and got traded to Arizona, and now we're in Salt Lake. But yeah, hockey was always a thing growing up. Hockey and golf. Yeah, always. We have a big family. My brother plays hockey. My sister was a basketball player. My cousins played basketball. So always around competing and doing all that stuff athletically, basketball and all those stuff.
Where's your brother playing at?
My brother is going to Langley next year in the BCHL. He's committed to UConn.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah.
We've
So
actually had a lot of Utah players go to UConn. Well, that was like the only place that was taking Utah players for the
yeah,
NCAA. So back in the day, it's funny. You talk about your dad. I was going to bring this up. Your dad played for one of the most fun names in ECHL history, the Macon Whoopie.
yeah, yeah. He was there. Where else? PD. He played in PD.
Didn't he play for
Yeah,
Johnstown too?
yeah. Johnstown. Yeah, yeah. So he made all the stops down there. So, yeah. So he uh, he kind of ended up in college hockey. He went to Notre Dame Prep. He kind of was a late bloomer. He was really good when he was little, and then kind of dipped for a few years. Went to Notre Dame, got better again, and then ended up at Merrimack. So where he met my mom.
And just so a lot of people understand that's Notre Dame in Saskatchewan. It's not the Notre
Yep.
Dame here. It's a hockey academy. The Notre Dame, the Hounds, right?
Yep. The Hounds. Yep.
Yeah, it's funny. I have to explain that to people a lot here. We're catching up. Utah's catching up. They're starting to get it. But when you explain, when people are like, "He played at Notre Dame," it's not that the Irish don't have a team, but when you're talking about prep school, that's Canadians' version of what Shattuck St. Mary's is basically.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, it's to go there as a Canadian, it's more of a big deal than people in the U.S. think.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. So let's go back a little bit and talk about when you first found out that Utah might be acquiring the team or at least the players and all that structure. Do you remember where you were and how that conversation went?
Yeah, I just remember the rumors starting. I think when we were on our Florida trip. And honestly, like this year being a first year player, I didn't really think too much of anything. I was just so focused and kind of in awe still about playing in the NHL. So my mind was kind of it wasn't going that far yet. And then once it did get announced, obviously it's excitement. As a hockey player, you're always on the move. You never know where you're going to be long term, short term, or whatever. So I think the more places you can see and live, it's a benefit. So I'm excited to get to Utah and obviously Arizona. The fans were awesome to us, and it was a fun year, and it was awesome living in Scottsdale. But I'm really excited about the opportunity in Utah.
Did you know anything about Utah? Had you ever been here before, or what did you know?
Not much to be honest. I know it has kind of a New Hampshire feel, mountains and lakes and that kind of weather, the cold winters, the snow. So I knew it was kind of similar in that way, but that was probably the biggest thing.
Tell me a little bit about You mentioned living in Scottsdale. What are you looking forward to playing in Salt Lake, and what are you gonna miss about playing in Arizona?
I think I mean I've heard the golf is really nice in Utah, so I'm excited to see some of the courses out there. But I think just like the fan base already. Obviously, I wasn't on the trip in Salt Lake. I went down to AHL playoffs, but um, the fans and the arena looks unbelievable. Even for the development camp game at the end of that, it looked unbelievable. The colors are awesome. The baby blue. And I think we just have a really, really good young team. And I think we have a really good opportunity to keep growing together and really become a team to beat, hopefully, in the future. Um, and AZ, I'll just miss the memories of my first year. I think the fans were awesome the last few games. Josh Doan's first game was really cool experience. The fans in there, all the Doan jerseys, it was really cool to be a part of. That last game against Edmonton was really cool to be a part of. Um, and honestly, I always loved visiting Arizona when I was in the minors too. So it was just a nice change of pace. I always told my parents that I really loved the desert and it did good for me and I had a lot of fun out there and I'll definitely miss it a little bit, but I'm excited to get some snow maybe and get back to a little bit more of a New Hampshire style.
Yeah, it's tough. Like Arizona's going to have so many big memories for you as a guy, first full season in the NHL. Um, it's a big loss for that market, and I know we've had a lot of those. A lot of the Arizona fans are following the show now and listening to the show. So I just want to make sure to mention them and get some of that sentiment from you guys. Tell us a little bit about the role you play on this team and what the Utah fans could expect to see from you this season.
Yeah, I think I'm obviously a tall, big, two-way defenseman. I think I move the puck really well for my size, and I skate well for my size, and I shoot the puck hard. I think my role this year is a little bit up in the air still. Obviously, we have a young core and we got a lot of good defensemen, so I think I'm just trying to show the coaching staff and Bill that I can be reliable and be more consistent, and then kind of see where that takes me. Obviously, I got to stand up for my teammates once in a while too, and play more of a physical game with my frame. And that's all stuff this off season I've been kind of working on in the gym and getting a little stronger so I can do that on a more consistent basis. Um, but yeah, I like to shoot the puck, shoot it hard, and hopefully lay a few more big hits and move the puck efficiently.
So last season, 6'5", 220, 66 penalty minutes. You're coming into this season, you're telling us you're going to be 230 or just 220 and solid?
Yeah, I think the weight is around the same. I've maybe gained a few pounds, but I think it's just a more athletic build and a little bit stronger, a little bit more muscle. So it's not going to be a crazy difference, but hopefully it's enough to have the energy on a nightly basis in the NHL to be able to play that game more consistently. I think it was a jump obviously to the NHL level. You're playing more games. It's a busier schedule, more travel, so that adjustment and I think knowing that going into this off season was a big advantage for me and knowing what I have to do and how I have to treat my body to be able to play that style of game.
Was that the big learning curve for you? Was the more games or was the game more physical? Like as you went into this off season, what was your main focus? Like I learned this last year to make me better next year. I got to do what?
Yeah, I think the big thing is consistency and just being more physical all the time. I think obviously all areas of my game can keep growing. I'm a young defenseman who's still trying to grow into their body fully. So I think everything can be touched on, but I think consistency is a big thing, and especially at this level, the coaching staff needs to know what they're going to get from you on a nightly basis. And I think doing it every other day instead of just on the weekends like the AHL or maybe 3 times a week. Sometimes it's 4 times a week in the NHL. So just being able to keep that mental focus and knowing how to treat your body. And I think you tweak some things in the gym this summer, maybe a little bit more cardio or whatever it is to make sure you're ready for that adjustment.
What do you think about the moves that are made? So you're a young defenseman. You're a sponge at this point, right? You just want to learn so many things. And then you see during the offseason, you go pick up three really experienced, knowledgeable defensemen. What are you looking forward to in that regard?
Yeah, obviously with Sergachev, he's a superstar. He's a top defenseman. So I'm excited just to see him on the ice and see how good he really is up close and personal. Obviously, I didn't get to play against him because he was hurt. So I'm really excited for that, and he's a young defenseman still too, really. So just getting in the mix with him and seeing him. Obviously, Cole's played in the league a long, long, long time, and someone I could end up playing with. And he's a big, heavy, physical defenseman. So I think he'll have some things he can teach me defensively and keep helping me learn how to be more consistent at this level. And then Marino is it's actually funny. I skated with him in the summers from the past. He's always in the New England area, so he's a Harvard guy, and I always joke with Kerf saying we didn't need another Harvard guy. One's enough, but he's a really good guy, and I think we kind of play similar games. And he's a really good guy. I honestly looked up to him when he was in college before I got to college of kind of a similar play style because he was a late round pick to Edmonton too. So I was always kind of following him and following his game, and I really like how he plays. So it'll be good to have those guys in the mix, and then obviously Durs is a stud. Valley's really good, puck moving, skill, offensive. So I think we have a really good mix.
Do you anticipate being paired with Cole?
I don't want to say any. I mean, we switch up all the time, but I mean, I think it's someone that I could end up potentially playing with. The big veteran, heavy defenseman. I think it kind of meshes well with my game. More of a puck mover and long, and use my skating. But we'll see what Bear does. I can play with anybody. Obviously, I played with Valley a lot at the end of last year, and then Durs. I play with Durs for stretches during the year too. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, one thing I know about Ian Cole too is he's a beast in the weight room. He's always been that guy. So another just another guy that you can learn more stuff from in the weight room.
Yeah,
Uh,
that.
Tell me a little bit about your summer getting to don the USA hockey jersey this year. What was that like?
Yeah, that was really cool for me. I was kind of one of those guys growing up. I was a little bit of a late bloomer. I was always a good player, but always kind of outside that the really good player mark from the kids that always played for USA and stuff like that. So it was really special just getting to wear the jersey for the first time, and it was a great experience. I wish our team we could have pushed through a little bit harder in that last game, but it was an unreal experience. And I think for me, it just gave me another opportunity to see guys around the league and see what they do to prepare for games and how they play and how they treat the game. So I think it was just good experience. Obviously, it's high level hockey too. We played Sweden, we played Czech, so you're getting those high level games. You're seeing them. You're in them, and it's just more experience. Being a young guy, I thought it was a great opportunity for me, and obviously, I had a good tournament, so maybe a little confidence going into the year and a little more sense of you belong, and I can keep growing my game.
And now you've got the opportunity. You're a young guy. I know 10 years is a long time away for any of us, but now you're playing this starting this season. You'll be playing in what's going to be an Olympic venue for the upcoming, well, for the 2034 Olympics. Did you first off, have you heard Utah got those, and then what do you think about that being an Olympic venue?
Yeah, obviously, I knew that, and I know the history with Utah and hockey. So it's really cool. I think with the Olympics, obviously with the city, it's going to help grow the city, help bring business to the city. So all that is great stuff. Um, and I know our owner is a big Utah guy, and I know he's very happy to get something like that in Salt Lake. So it's all exciting news, and it should be good. I think it's always nice to be somewhere where there's hockey history. Being playing at Northeastern, there's a lot of history in the program, and even my prep school in New Hampton, there's hockey history. It's just cool to be a part of history and try to write our own.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. All right, I've got the big question for you now. You've seen the names, you've seen the options for the team name. Do you have a preference?
Um, Have guys been given their preference?
Yeah.
Oh
Somehow,
yeah,
somehow, you know what? You could also just blame it like this is what my mom wants. You could say however you want to say.
yeah. So I personally, I like Yeti. I think you could do a lot of really cool things with black, white, light blue, and a Yeti logo. So I'm all for that. I think the consensus with my friends and family is Yeti as well. So we'll see what happens. Honestly, hockey club has grown on me a little bit. I know it's probably not going to stay that, and we can't be the only team without a logo and a mascot. But it gives me the soccer vibes, and I'm a soccer fan, so it's kind of cool for now.
Yeah, it's funny because when they first said, "Ah, we're gonna go by Utah Hockey Club," at first I'm like, "No," because my son and my daughter both played college soccer, so I had to kind of like I had to watch a lot of soccer against my will, non-consensual soccer at my house, and that's the vibe I was getting too. But I've got the Utah Hockey Club hat on right now. Um,
Yeah,
all of a sudden I've bought in. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't want that to be the name. I want there to be
yeah,
a logo, but for the first year, it doesn't bother me at all now. Like I like it. I'm just excited.
yeah.
I'm just excited about it.
Yeah, I am too, honestly, and honestly, the logos they've come up with and everything with the state in the background and all that stuff. I'm excited to get some of that apparel and I think the baby blue is really nice. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm digging it. I'm ordering a full set of gear right now, e-bug stuff, just all powder blue, just solid, nothing else in it. It's gonna be sick.
Yeah. Well, so I'm hoping that our third jerseys can be that light blue. I think
Yeah,
that
I'm
could
gonna.
be really cool.
It's the only thing that makes sense. All right,
Yeah.
Michael, we appreciate your time, man, and we're so excited to have you here and play this year. It was fun to watch you play last year. It was fun to watch that Doan game and you guys. I'm excited. I mean, 6'5", 220. You're the type of player we love to watch play. We're excited about it. I'd love to have you on the show during the season and catch up with you and see how you're adapting to Utah and how you're liking it.
For sure. Yeah. Thanks for having me. And just to the fans, then we're really excited to get going, and I think we have something special kind of brewing here. So we're excited to get going, and we got the hockey itch now, so should be good.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you, you guys seem like a real tight knit group, and I know that they made some changes, but it seems like that core group, you guys have been through so much together, and we're going to see you guys coming out on the other end of it, where things are going to be set up better for you, and or hopefully we're just giving you. I know Ryan Smith. I know he's going to give you every tool you need to succeed, and we're excited for it. We're excited to see it.
Yeah, we're very thankful for him and everything he's done for us. It's been nothing but top tier A treatment, and yeah, the boys are excited.
Yeah, I got to mention Ashley Smith too, because I didn't mean to just say Ryan, because Ashley's a part of
Yeah,
the team too, and she's
yeah,
been doing a ton too. All right, Michael, thanks so much, man. We appreciate your time. Enjoy the rest of your summer. We'll see you in about a month.
yep. About a month.
All right, and that is the Utah Puck Report.